So many thoughts. This video is about rest. Have you ever had those moments where you did things you regretted but wondered why you did it? A previous mentor of mine stopped drinking alcohol because every stupid thing he ever did, he said, involved alcohol. Today I'm suggesting this often happens due to sleep. Recently I was dropping my wife off to the airport. The night before I'd been making progress. I started this new business, getting clients, helping people, get traction. People are excited. 3 kids have gone to sleep, so I'm just like at it till like 4 a.m. And it's not uncommon to get that second wind after, like 9, 10 o'clock. And at that point, I mean, get going, and then it's like 12 o'clock. You're like, oh, I should be in bed. It's 12:42 right now. But then you get that wind, and you're like, oh, and then that leads to another idea. Long story short, had the least amount of sleep I've had that I can remember in a long, long time. I know I did an all-nighter one time, but I can't remember when. And our kids get up at 6 to 7 a.m. after I go to bed at 4. Take my wife to the airport. She goes off to do her, she's doing her master's in leadership. And I take the kids to the mall in Bellevue, and I've been there many times. Today was different. I don't know what I was doing. I guess 2 hours sleep, and probably not enough sleep before that with 3 kids. But I mean, I have a minivan. It's a Toyota Sienna. It's the best purchase we ever made, especially in terms of cars. But for our family, it just works. 3 kids under 5. I mean, stop resisting. Just get the van. They're the best. Unless you get a massive SUV, maybe that'll work. But long story short, I just do little scratch going around the corner. I'm like, oh, dang it. Turns out $7,000 to fix. And as I've reflected on being a husband and a father, leading teams, other relationships, most of the stupid things I've ever done or said, or my facial expressions or whatever, came when I didn't get enough rest. I've also observed this in colleagues, employees, other leaders that I've worked with in different teams and organizations. The other thing is the drive I've observed in people is significantly reduced, even when others might not notice. It's enough for a staff member to feel like you don't care about them, or I don't care about them. It's enough for a potential customer to choose not to do business with you. When you're in any type of revenue creation, when you're just that little bit off, there's that conviction and that desire that's just not there, and it needs to be there. Your clients, your customers, your students, your kids. I mean, my mom had was a great mom. My parents, they had some clear boundaries of whatnot. My uncle was telling me a story about how he came to visit where he observed her not following her typical, disciplinary and boundary guidelines of what maybe she would. And she's like, Paul, I'm just so tired. Because there was 4 of us under 6.5. So, something to keep in mind. I think even worse, though, is that our spouses, our kids, our family, our friends, the people that we work with, the people that we serve, they just get our leftovers. And if you're anything like me or others I've seen, there's this propensity to be way more short. The fuse is shorter, way more spicy. And the family is the one that's there when we're run down, we're tired. There's more and more science out there about the need for sleep, and not sedation from pills or alcohol, but proper rest, like nighttime. Here I am talking about rest, and I'm going to bed at 1 a.m. This is ridiculous. But hey, often we help people in the areas that we need help. So I went to bed at a similar time, well, actually an hour later last night. Confessions of I don't know. I have 3 kids, I'm building a business. Sometimes you just gotta, okay, the root cause is, Chris, is that you need to make the most of your day and not get as distracted. I've found getting outside in the morning makes a massive difference to my day. Even if it's just 5 minutes, some form of movement, breathing, are all things that help get the body awake and alive in the morning. You know, my go-to is, I mean, there's the bike. It's a stationary bike. It's inside. There's a forest nearby that I just love. Get out for a walk or a run. You know, preferably without a phone, although that's a good place to take notes because I get ideas. But I guess the question is, what does being tired cost you? What can you shift in your evening routine? What helps you wake up and be your best? Is it a cold shower? I mean, man. And